Caddicarus! Oh, hi. How's it going? Let's talk about Crash.
Good old Crash earned his universally successful debut on August 31st, 1996, and it was about this thing created by this guy who escaped from this guy because this guy is evil and wants to steal this thing's girlfriend and enslave humanity. A very basic gaming narrative formula, but nonetheless extremely successful, selling roughly 6.8 million copies worldwide as of today. The appeal to this game was the fact that it was just essentially the simplicity of the original Mario flipped into a 3D game, as in that you only use 2 action buttons and move around. Primitive, and not up to spec with Mario 64 at all, but as I said, effective. The series continued to evolve throughout the years and constantly add more meat to the bones with new power-ups, characters, environments, challenges, platforming styles, and even different game genres altogether. And the company developing these great games was the strangely titled Naughty Dog, who may be known nowadays for the Uncharted series, as well as Jak and Daxter. And Naughty Dog were also churning out these games once a year. Impressive, guys. You think you're so tough? Hey, do I look funny to you? Well, well. Okay, you're pretty tough. So everything was sailing smoother than Christopher Walken smothered in sunflower oil until... What's this? Naughty Dog? Fucking dropped? Crash Candicoot?
Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know about you, but I can only see failure and misery after that choice. Oh yeah, kind of forgot about that. Yeah, I stand corrected. But yeah, they dropped Crash for other things, and so
Sony Comp Entertainment Software
came along to leech off his success with Crash Bash. Wallop boom ting bang ding-a-ling what. The first Crash game after the departure of Naughty Dog. Which can only mean tears and utter resentment. Hey, at least Sony Computer Entertainment still had a part in it. It might just pull something out of the metaphorical hat. So you put the game in, close the lid, assault the power button, and BAM! It's Crash and Bash. And here we have the menu. As always, kick-ass music, as to be expected. And even Crash is doing... something? And we have a wide selection of things to press. The first thing that strikes your attention is Battle and Tournament.
It's kind of like CTR, but I don't see any go-go cup!
It shouldn't come as any surprise. I mean, CTR had multiplayer, but this is taking a platforming approach. So what exactly do they have in their metaphorical sleeves? Oh, now you decide to show descriptive text once I start moving? Thanks, game. Anyways, adventure ho! Sorry, please give me a second. I mean, just... Sorry, it's just that too many questions have flooded my mind right now. 2-player adventure? Interesting. Aku Aku and Uka Uka with lines of good guys and bad guys to pick from? Interesting. Tiny and Dingodile are on the good line? Interesting. Gorilla Monkey Anus Face who isn't from any other Crash game and never appears in future installments? Interesting. Anyways, this is looking like a very interesting kind of game, know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna pick Crash because I'm pretty boring, and here we have the story. Now, I must admit, as far as plot goes, it's magnificently underwhelming for something that's presented so epically. It's kind of silly, really. Hey, listen to me, calling a game with a walking bandicoot silly. Oh, I'm smart. Basically, the plot is chugging along nicely, ultimately because Uka Uka and Aku Aku are bickering, as they say. So right from the get-go, you can tell this is going to be good when the entity of good and the entity of evil are having an epic squabble like an old married couple. And this obviously only leads to one way to settle it. Mindless violence! Not to mention they summon other people and make them undergo absolute carnage in order to determine who exactly is top dog. Or... Bandicoot, should I say? Hey, I'm amazing. Oh, give me 5. Anyone, give me 5. Anyone? No? Oh, well, fuck you then. But yes, that's all it is. They want to see who's indeed the better mask by sitting, or floating, back, while these innocent bystanders are thrown into tanks as they blow the everlasting eyebrows off of each other. That makes sense. Crashy bashy. And now that I have your undivided attention, I would like to take this time to address a few things in a little section I like to call the top whatever number reasons this intro makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Number 1. Why can't they fight each other?
No, Uka Uka. The ancients would not allow it.
Okay then. Number 2. Who are the ancients? These guys? Ancients? And 3. Why did you burn each other at the end of Crash 3? That looks like bloody fighting to me. Number 4. Why the strange choice of characters? And number 5, isn't Brio a good guy in Crash 2? Why did he end up on Cortex's side all of a sudden? And what about Engine and Entropy? Instead we have old Bumface over here. And number 6, Crash, I'm sure what you're doing is incredibly relevant and really fun, but please stop. Can you not see how serious this is?
Can't you?
Ah, why am I complaining? Let's play some Crashly Bashley. Ashley. Mary-Kate. I've got nothing. So right away, we're here in the warp room. Nice. Yeah, but I can't jump. What the hell? I can spin like it's going out of style, but I can't jump?
My goodness, look at it spin. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Basically, this is much like Crash 1's style of warping, and not like the more freedom-based 2 and 3. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So in case you didn't read the box or get the freaking memo because you're a stubborn old sausage that's expecting a classic Crash game, this is in fact Mario Party. With this thing. So I guess we should see how it all holds up. I'm gonna run through the first world on its own because these 4 minigames here act as the main recurring minigames, and through every warp room, they alter it slightly to add a bit of sense. It's a neat little idea and it makes it more fun and challenging as it goes on. You do have other really fun games such as the Battle Tank levels and even the medieval stages, but we shall stick to these levels for the time being. Okay. Right, first game. Huh, 4-way Pong. That's cute. But the only real major difference here is that there are so many balls everywhere. Balls. They fly from the left, they fly from the right, they fly from the front, they fly from... that's it. But yeah, it starts off slow, but it's only building up to the craziness that follows it. It's actually good fun. For the first time. It's all well and good and everything, but you have to keep soldiering on until one player wins 3 times. It's a good time to mention that this is much better suited to multiplayer, where it's a bit more competitive and fast-paced. But the AI here couldn't give less of a shit, so the game does tend to drag on. Especially when playing it 3 times over. The graphics as well are actually quite pleasant. The characters look good, and the sleeker and simpler stages aren't overcompensated by overcolouring other stages. It's the typical Crash style. And it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. I like theming. Theming. That's what this game does. It themes. Did I mention I like theming? Okay, next game. Polar Panic.
Smack the people into the ice.
When it comes to playing something 3 times over, this is much more fun than Crash Ball, partly because of how quick a match can last. It's also pretty cool how in some minigames, depending on who you pick, can determine what special powers you have in different minigames. For example, in this game, everybody has a charge attack and a meter. If you pick Cortex or Brio, they will use their jetpacks to deliver a devastating blow to opponents. Unfortunately, the charge runs out completely after 1 use and you have to wait for a recharge. Dingodile and Ask for a Face both have the weakest charge, which is... I don't even know. But they have loads of charge remaining before running out, meaning that they can deliver 3 or 4 attacks sequentially. That's a nice word. Sequential. Oh my god, that's a nice word. I do like how this adds a bit more strategy and leads you to overcome and adapt to each player's strengths and weaknesses. It's good. And I don't know what that noise is every time Crash charges, but I like it. Maybe more than I should. And there are even some additional power-ups in this stage given by this thing. A lightning storm, an anvil, a shrinking ray, and a titan ray.
Give me your best shot, Bats. It does make it a bit more tense.
But again, best suited multiplayer. Okay, stage 3, Pogo Paint. Okay, I know this is my second video, but there is too much shit here, Crasher Basher! How am I, an average consumer, supposed to react to all this crazy on screen? The main objective here is to paint as many blocks as you can and then hit the purple boxes to claim your points, depending on how many squares you painted. But here's the catch. Challengers can willfully paint over your life's work.
You bastard!
And this is a fairly quick game as well. The AI is a little more refined here, and the power-ups include fast boots, missiles, and line painters. This does get a little overwhelming, and you can choose to have a strategy, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would just go for a purple box whenever you see them. The best solution to a problem is usually the easiest. And again, more suited to multiplayer. I hope you see what I'm getting at with this. Unless you don't, of course. That's always fun. Whew. Stage 4, Jungle Bash. Nearly the same as Crash Bash. But here we have a much simpler objective. Go all Michael Bay on everyone and laugh as you brutally pummel everyone to an insignificant pulp. This usually ends up the craziest and the trickiest. Explosions, stone boxes, health pickups, and a short time limit. As the AI actually cares for once in its miserable life, I can actually find myself enjoying this with or without a friend. And that's all good in my book. Talking about my book, go buy it now. It's called the Caddicarus, and there's nothing in it because it doesn't exist. Not much more to say here except...
Crash wins. Fatality.
Right, now the first boss level.
You must defeat the mighty Papu Papu.
Papu Papu? Mighty? So mighty that a few spins and 3 smacks on the head wipes him out. Oh look, it's Papu Papu. I remember him. He was hilarious and he was very easy. No disappointment here, ladies and gentlemen. He is still hilarious and still very easy. Dodge the attack, kill the creepy baby crashes. Why are they there? And hit him when his shields are down. And he really gets into it. Even with the whole evil laughing thing after I kill all of his minions. Which makes no sense. And he even ends up leaving himself exposed to my projectiles. And don't get me started on his noises. Oh, his noises. So, the first world of Crashes Bashes. Can we judge the game by the first world of adventure? In this case, no, we can't. It isn't the most exciting or promising start of an adventure mode, but I will be honest, the bosses do get trickier, the repeating games do add more quirks and more funness as you progress. Funness? Oh my fucking god, what ponce wrote this script? Oh, yeah, me. Stick it in the Caddicarus. And going through the game is all worth it to unlock the additional 97 levels that are available in multiplayer mode. Or you could just be a dirty, skanky little cheater, couldn't you? Eh? It's my face! And the camera. And don't get me started on the hover car one, I love it! And there are loads of things to get done and complete in the adventure, such as the additional gem and crystal challenges for every stage, and even the relics when you get really far, despite the fact that some of them are annoyingly frustrating. But it doesn't escape the fact that there is a lot of gameplay time out of this if you're willing to go through all the repetition in the process. And the major issue is that even though the adventure is crucial to unlocking multiplayer events, the game is a hell of a lot more fun to play with someone else, even if that means playing Adventure 2-player. Just avoid playing this alone. It cries for a soulmate to play with nearly 24/7. As far as a party game goes with Crash Bandicoot, I would easily say that this game is really fun in some places, and definitely worth the pittance it would cost to buy nowadays.